And greetings and welcome to the QCast. This is season 4, episode 56. And I've had a lot of fun with these types of episodes, and I'm really looking forward to this one. This is another transfer portal announcement episode of the QCast. We've had a few of these, they're a lot of fun. And we have a player that's had an incredible career in Division 3 and certainly an incredible season in 2023-24, and that's Davidson Hubbard, a 6'5" forward from Hampden-Sydney, who helped his team to the national championship game this past season. He's an ODAC first teamer. He's a D3hoops.com All-American. Davidson, it is great to have you on the QCast. How's everything going for you?
It's going great. It's great to be here with you. I'm looking forward to first podcast with you. So
I really appreciate it. It's good to meet you too. Where are you joining us from here today? Are you at home, and where is home?
yeah, I'm home. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina. So grew up here, lived here my whole life, and just yeah.
Well, very good. Thanks for taking the time. We put this together very quickly, and I appreciate your time. I just want to first ask you, Davidson, about the season that the Tigers just had. You know, obviously making it all the way to the national championship game. Incredible season. What was that journey like this past year?
It was unreal. I mean, we knew we could do some special things this past year, and I to some of us it might not have been a surprise, but looking back on it, it's pretty incredible what we were able to accomplish with that team and that group of 9 seniors and the coaching staff we had, and having that group together for so long, and being able to finally you know like all the stuff we were talking about over those years, and like this is what we need to do, and it coming to fruition in the end was like really rewarding. And it was just it went by so fast, and we just took it one game at a time. And especially when it got to tournament time, and we were on like this ride for what felt like a week or something, but it went on for months. And all our supporters and parents were like talking to us, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome. But we're just like locked in and like, let's win the next game, let's keep winning. And brought us to the national championship. And wish it could have ended differently, but not gonna, I wouldn't change anything about it. So
You played that great game in the national semifinal against your conference rivals, Guilford. You
mhm.
win 62-57 in a great game, and you lose in the national championship to Trine. You know, as you look back over the two games, they were both incredibly close. You know, the Trine game ended up being an 8-point margin. It was really close. You beat Guilford by 5. It was really close. It was kind of back and forth. As you look back on the two games in particular, anything stand out? Anything like lasting memories from either of those two games?
Definitely the Guilford game. We had a timeout, and I want to say we were down maybe like 5 or 6 at the point, but it felt like we were down 15 just because the game ended in like it was in the 40s at that point. It was
Yeah.
5 minutes left in the game. It was just slow, just grinding it out. And like I just remember coaching our team like right now this is when need to be the most together, like more than we've been all season. And that right there was like the turning point to where we made that push, where we made
Yeah.
that run. And that was just one of the, I think, best moments we had. And Guilford got us early in the season, so it felt great to get them back. Guilford's a great team, and they do a great job. And this shows how good the ODAC is as well. So
Yeah, the ODAC has been amazing. It's always been a great league. The last 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, the
yeah.
depth of the league, and it seems like new programs are getting better and better all the time in the league to add to the top and the balance. You had a great season, 15.7 rebounds a game. I mentioned you were a first team ODAC. You were a D3hoops.com All-American. Um, as you think back on your 4 years, what's interesting, Davidson, is you were part of that group that came in during the pandemic. You were part of that mess where your freshman year, which was 2021, you guys play 6 games, I believe. I think you
Yeah.
were 2-4 and 1-3 in the league. And
Mm.
what was it like to kind of grind through, to walk in the door and have to grind through that 2020, 2021 season where you played all of 6 games, and it was like a
Yeah.
nightmare for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it just made every season after that seem so much better. Just like, kind of what we had to go through, like practicing every day, masks on the whole time,
Right.
just, like it was hard, but also it was like my first year of college. So I was kind of like, what should I expect? Because I hadn't been through college and, stuff like that. So it was obviously like different in the sense that it was COVID going on and stuff. But, I kind of took it as like, okay, this is what it's going to be. We're going to have to just, work through it. And, we had a group that stuck together for, a long time, and, just going through like the hardest times together. That's what made those relationships grow so much and that chemistry within our team. And, yeah, I mean, that's what made it so good, I think. Yeah.
Also, want to ask you, but and then we'll get into kind of what your decision is for next year. But
Yeah.
you were part of a really impressive building process during your career. Caleb Kimbrough, this I think last year was his 5th year,
Hmm.
and so a great program historically, but he had to do a little bit of rebuilding in the program. And you guys, that first year, 2-4 COVID year. Your sophomore year, you're 14-11 and 8-8 in the league. And then your junior year, you're 22-7, 14-2. And this year you were 31-3, 14-2. If you take those, your junior and senior year, you were 53-10 and 28-4 in the ODAC. What was
Hmm.
it like to see the progression of the program during your 4 years?
It was pretty, remarkable to see kind of what Coach Kimbrough was able to do with our team. The guys he was able to bring in, and there's guys that played well together and kind of fit, and a group of just good guys. And also the year before that, they had maybe a 12-win season, 14-win season, I want to say, with the team of guys he hadn't recruited. So he just like hopped in. And the year before that, when he got there, was maybe 5 wins that season. So
Right.
like the way he's kind of been able to come in and just kind of change things like right away, and then just keep building on it is incredible, really. And shout out to Coach Gibby, Coach Eco, Coach Q, Coach Long, Coach Livingston, like all the coaches we've had come through there. They've all done a great job alongside Kimbrough, and it's just that's kind of where it took us, like with having such a close group of coaches and players. And I think another thing is with the coaches being so young and being able to connect with us on a different level. I think that was big for kind of the connection between the group.
Yeah, I think as people look back on the Tigers program in 5, 10 years, they'll remember your group. They'll remember the group that played in that national championship game as the group, like Caleb's group that got things rolling again. And I know how that goes in programs, and there's going to be Tigers fans that never forget that national championship game group. So let's talk a little bit about your decision to go into the transfer portal. So like everyone that entered school in 2020, 21, you have that COVID year in your back pocket, which is great, because anyone that had to go through that wearing masks, 6 games season, I'm so glad that everybody got a chance to get a season back. What was
Hmm.
your decision to go in the portal versus say stay another year and just say I'm going to come back and play my 5th year at Hampden-Sydney? What was that process like?
Yeah, I think for me, it was kind of just exploring like what options there are out there, because Hampton-Sydney wasn't out of the question. I would say like there was a chance I would have gone back if what I had available wasn't like just ideal at all. So I mean it was still there, but and I think the biggest thing for me is just like like more opportunity at other places with ball and school, I would say, and go somewhere else and get a master's. And so things like that were playing a bigger part in that, I would say.
That makes sense. And
Yeah.
throughout the COVID eligibility year era, we've seen guys make a lot of different decisions, and and kudos for those who make the decision heavily, exclusively, almost exclusively based on the academic side, right? Is that you'd like to do both of them,
Hmm.
and you had some unique opportunities here. You got to weigh in some really special academic opportunities. Um, what was, before I ask you where you're going, what was important to you? What were your musts? Like, I'm looking for this, and this. Is there anything you could share with us on the like top things for you that you wanted?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, the main thing was just like development as a player, and going somewhere where I could play against like you know really good players and expand my game even more. I think that was a big one, because after this fifth year, I was planning on going to play pro ball, and if I didn't make this decision to go fifth year, I probably would have tried to have that opportunity to go play overseas or something. So I think that's a big one. Yeah, I'd say that's the main reason overall, and then like the school part, like getting a master's as well. I think that's another one. So yeah.
So, obviously, I think based on your comments, I think the listeners can tell that you've decided not to play that fifth year at Hampden-Sydney. So, Davidson Hubbard, tell the QCast viewers here today, tell Division III Nation and anyone else tuning in, where will you be going to school and playing basketball next year?
I will be playing my fifth year at Baylor University in Waco, Texas.
Well, it's exciting to me that you're going to be in Texas. You're just an hour and a half down the road. I'm always driving between here in Dallas and Austin, and Waco's right in the middle of the two. How did you how did you arrive at deciding to be a Baylor Bear?
Yeah, so about a week ago from today, Coach Kimbrough had called me, and I was kind of at the stage where I was like, it's so late for college ball, and I'm probably going to be playing overseas, and so I'd been talking to a few guys about that, and talking about like agents and whatnot, and so Kimbrough texted me one night, and he's like, "Hub, like call me, like I get this crazy opportunity that just came across my desk, like when you get a second," and so I called him. I was middle of a lift, and called him. I'm like, "Hey, what up, coach?" And he's like, "Dude, I just got a call because I had been talking to some of the coaches at Coastal Carolina, and one of the coaches I'd been talking to for the most part, he had a connection with the Baylor head coach, and said they were looking for a guy kind of with my skill set, and kind of an older guy that can help like mentor a little bit, and just like hustle guy, kind of things like that." And he's like, "Yeah," and I mentioned Davidson to him, and he was telling Kimbrough this, and Kimbrough called me right away, and he was like, "Dude, this is like an unreal opportunity." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. Like, I'm for it." Like, and so he's like, "All right, yeah, I'll text the coach back real quick." And about 10 minutes after that, Coach Drew at Baylor called me, and talked for about 20-30 minutes, kind of just getting to know him. And it was, that was kind of the deal. And he was like, "All right, the next few days, I'm gonna have like our staff reach out to you and kind of see how they feel about you, kind of get a connection going, and see if you're a fit, see if we're a fit for you, stuff like that." So it was kind of just it was so quick and out of nowhere, but I mean the opportunity is just it's unreal to think about like how it kind of panned out. And there's so much that I'm gonna be able to get from this, and just playing on a team like that, it's gonna be unreal.
Academically, it sounds like you're going to be pursuing a master's. What will you be pursuing your master's in? Do you know yet? Do you have that all nailed down?
Yeah, I'm in the process of that right now. I've been talking to some of the academic folks down there, working through that. So,
It's
and
great.
pick something out so I don't miss practice, much. So
It's a great school. It's an awesome school. It's a beautiful campus. I know Baylor well. My godson, who's now 23 years old, went to Baylor, and so
mhm.
his father and I ended up spending a lot of time in Waco, going to see him during his 4 years. It just ended a year ago, and it is a beautiful, beautiful place. It's a great school. Have you been to Texas much, Davidson? Like, do you know a lot about the Lone Star State here?
Yeah, I've been to Dallas when I was a lot younger. I don't remember much of it, but that was the only time I've been. So a lot out west I'm not too familiar with, but I think it'll be a good time down there.
I think you're going to like Texas. I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to enjoy Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to circle back before I let you go. You're leaving a group of teammates, many of whom are returning. A nice part of the nucleus returns next year to the Tigers. But what are your memories? What are the thoughts you have of that group of guys that you've been playing with at Hampden-Sydney for the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, that group, we're going to be lifelong friends. There's nothing that can take that away. It's like just spending the time with those guys and going through the ups and downs of everything. It's like those are my brothers for life. I mean, nothing's going to change that. And it's definitely going to be different going to a new team and playing with a whole new group of guys. But I'm still going to be talking to these boys like all the time, telling them all the stuff that's going on at school. Like it's like we stay so connected, and gonna be really fun when we have our tip off banquet and they got the ring ceremony for our ODAC championship and drop the banners.
Yeah.
So
Special team, special season for sure. And I think pretty cool that you were there kind of for that whole 4-year progression. And then final question, you alluded to your coaching staff a few times, the role that Caleb played in helping make sure this happened, the assistants, but just wanted to give you one more chance to give kind of any thoughts or a shout out to Caleb and his assistants for kind of the support they've given you for the last 4 years.
yeah, they've been awesome. I mean, especially Caleb, like he's been reaching out a ton lately, just helping me figure out like what I want to do next year, and like all the time he's like texting me, calling me. It's like, hey, need help figuring this out, and like he'd be anything really. So I mean, he's always there for me, and all the guys on our team, and he's been a great help. Coach Gibson, he's been a great help too, just reaching out. If I need anything, going to him. Coach Long, he's like, especially this past year and a half, I've gotten really close with him. He played at Guilford for a few years and graduated just before I got to Hampden-Sydney, so kind of closer in age, and been really able to grow my relationship with him, and he's been right there for me. So I mean, all those guys, especially like all the coaches come up, like Coach Liv and Coach Eco, Coach Q, Coach Grimes, all of them. I mean, shout out to all of them. They're just like always staying connected with them, and they're great. Yeah.
Well, just a final comment on my end, then I'm going to turn it over to you for any final comments you have for those tuning into the QCast. But if you thought playing against Guilford and Randolph-Macon in those teams was challenging, which it is, I'm looking forward to you getting to tee it up against Houston and Iowa State in those teams.
Yeah.
That Big 12 basketball is going to be a blast. That is some serious athleticism and serious hoops. Just like D3 is, of course. But boy, the guys are going to be bigger, stronger, faster. And I think we're all rooting for you, Davidson. You've been a great D3 guy. You've played the game the right way, played hard. You were fun to watch. It was great to see you finally in person there in Fort Wayne. And best of luck to you as you join the Baylor Bears. I'll turn it over to you, Davidson, for any final comments you have for the people tuning into the QCast today.
Yeah, that's all I got. I think all good. Just excited for what the future holds. And yeah, I might have to see you down there sometime.
I promise I'll come watch a game at Baylor. It's a piece of cake.
Awesome.
I'm through there. I promise I'll come see it Baylor, and I can't wait to do it. Well, my friend, thank you so much. Thanks for making this work so quickly today, and best of luck to you. We'll see you in Waco.
Awesome.